What is going on, true believers? I hope you're having a great morning. My name is Bleaves. We're going to talk about this crazy crypto world. And the market absolutely bottomed last night, down up to $200 billion before correcting back as the U.S. market is coming online. And the narratives that we give you. If the market is pumping, the U.S. is dumping. If the world is dumping, the U.S. market is pumping. Still stands as the norm right now. So we saw a big dip in the overnights. So what did we get? We've got the U.S. market starting to buy up aggressively. Maybe that leads to the rest of the world doing the same thing. We'll see. We'll see what happens ultimately. But we are, in fact, I'm going to tell guys. I don't believe I'm going to say this. I don't believe I'm going to say this. But for those of you that don't know, there is a distinct and real possibility. It's not here yet. Okay. There's a distinct and real possibility that Crypto Rover is actually right about something, which is bonkers to me because this dildo hasn't been right about anything yet. So it's going to be fascinating if it actually happens. But he says after 404 days, after 404 days of saying altcoin season is tomorrow, he's finally said, actually, you know what? Altcoin season is probably going to be in February. And that actually makes sense and could actually be real. So make sure you hit the like button on the way in. We're going to make fun of a lot of people today, but we're going to focus on what does the market look like. We're going to take a clear look again at some of these cryptos and try to figure out what the best move is going forward. We're going to look short term and we're going to look long term. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleav. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
Okay, guys. So again, make sure you hit the like button on your way in. Let's get after it and let's figure out what is going on in this crazy crypto world. First of all, here's your crypto bubbles for the day. Top 100 are not holding up very well. XCN down 30%, almost 30%. Fartcoin down 22%. By the way, remember, the fart comes from the butthole. And we do hold now Butthole Coin, which is ridiculous to me. But hey, you know what? I do think that it's actually going to explode this weekend. The butthole's going to explode. I just can't stop saying shit like that and laughing. Anyway, the butthole is full of shit as a project. But you see what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing? You see. Anyway, having a lot of fun with these stupid names for these things. But look, these things are going to rip, right? It's a matter of time right now. And I think that we're about to witness one of the big weeks in crypto. I'm guessing, by the way, I don't know for sure. We'll see. But when you get a shakeout like this, you tend to get new blood entering the arena. So I think that's what we're going to see. Hex down 16%, Pengu down 15%, Pepe down 13%, Jupiter down almost 10%, Doge down 7%. A lot of blood in the water here. Radium raised down 12.2%, Floki's down 10%. Moving into the second tier, gains should be even worse. Griffane 20%, Toshi 44% down, AI16Z down 18%, Popcat down 18%. No real gainers. Conflux, about the only gainer right now, up 2.4% in that second tier. And also, by the way, Conflux, I do think is going to be one of those things that breaks out. But the moment, and I think it will happen, but with a moment that China says that we have changed our stance on crypto, Conflux is going to absolutely explode. Swift Coin up another 65%, dragging along, by the way, that move to earn market with Swift Coin. So shout out to them. I hope that we see a lot more of those. I am an investor in one of those. It's called Runwago, and they're still doing their pre-sale. But when they launch, this might be a really good one. Vine's down 25%, 25.8%. Plume down 15%. Peanut down another 18%. Goat down 18%. Book of Memes is down 13%. Spell up 23%. Zeus down 16%. eHex. All the hexes are down pretty significantly. Luna down 8.2% on the day. Ski up 20%. ACH flying up 52.6%. But XPR down 25%. Cult down 17%. Wild and Zent down 15%. A lot of blood in the water here. We're looking at it across the board. A lot of downward pressure on a lot of different cryptos today. Holding firm, though, by the way, I do want to say that I think DevvE was holding up pretty well. I don't know if they're on that page or this page, but I think they were down for the day, but it was an almost inconsequential amount. It had, if it went down, it had recovered very quickly. Oh, nope, down 10% now. But I think earlier today it was up significantly. Even though the rest of the market was kind of tanking. So Swarm's down 25%, Based AI, Ava down another 22%. A lot of blood in the market. So is Lucy leaving SHIB? Good of her, nice way of saying she's tired of them not executing as planned. That's not what everybody's saying. As a matter of fact, what they're saying is that the reason that Shaitoshi is leaving because they don't need a leader anymore. Now they need people to execute on their plan. Shaitoshi helped to execute the plan. If Lucy's leaving, then I'm sure that's just could be another communicator that's going to be stepping into that place. Hopefully they will do as good a job. So we'll miss Lucy if she's gone. So but anyway, let's move on here. Fear and Greed Index. Fear and Greed Index is sitting. I can't get rid of that ad at any point. It's 71. I think, of course, it's going to come down a little bit today. We're still down $40 billion on the day, but it's sitting at 71 right now. Now, let me point this out. And guys, I'm not trying to dump on Slum Doge, the hair product salesman or whatever his fucking is. Okay, but this is the final shakeout from somebody like Slum Doge. He's been posting this every dip. Okay, every dip is the final shakeout. Nobody knows what the final quote unquote shakeout is going to be. Nobody knows when or how it's going to happen or anything like that. Other than this, generally speaking, February has been a really good month for cryptocurrency during that bull run. When we go back historically and we look at this, let's do this one right here. When we look at the returns during the bull market, right here in February, right there was 29.8% in 2021. Okay. It was up 36. I'm sorry, it was 36%. My bad. 36% during that period of time. So the time before that was 2017, and it was 23% gain in February, and the time before that 61%. This is one of the biggest opportunities right here going into the next couple of months. And you can see here during 2021, what did we get? We got 36.7, then we got another 30%. Then April, May, and June were just big dumpster fires. And then we got July, August, we started to rip. We were down in September, and then we had the blow off around October, and then it started to come down. Well, the same thing should be happening this time. So we should start to see some real movement in altcoins in February and March, as we always do in that 4-year cycle. And then from there, we'll see. Sell in May and walk away is always the case. So what likely we'll see is a top blow off around the middle of April. Notice it was even here. It was up 32% right here. So you never really know. And going into the summer months here in 2017, there was a frenzy. This was during the ICO offerings. I don't know if that's still going to happen, but We'll see. Currently up 8% for this month, off of 14% the last time. And in 2017, down 0.4%. So starting off a little bit slow in January, despite that we have had good Januaries a lot of times. So we'll see how February and March play out, but that's what it looks like. That's what should be happening. However, again, we have all these guys that are look, we're just farming you, right? Let's do this. You know what? This is the final shit. We're gonna do this. We're gonna be this person, right? We're gonna do this, and we're gonna be like, oh yeah, we're gonna see the same thing. That's all it took. That's all it took. All right. So I you know what I mean? Like Jesus fucking Christ, you know what I mean? So anyway, let's move on here because we want to get into charts today. I want to get there quickly. MicroStrategy has acquired another 10,107 Bitcoin for 1.1 billion at 105,596 per Bitcoin and has achieved Bitcoin yield of 2.9% year to date 2025. As of 126, we hodl 471,000 Bitcoin acquired for 30 billion at an average of 64,511 per Bitcoin. So he paid an average for 471,000 Bitcoin. He paid an average price of 64,511, and the current value of it is a lot fucking higher. Okay. He acquired this for 30.4 billion. And in fact, the amount of increase right now would be about 2/3. So it's worth about 50 billion at this point, almost 50 billion. So that company's made almost 20 billion by just holding and buying more Bitcoin. So shout out to Michael Saylor. Also, this is the big one. Okay. Now, this is not the meme coin or anything like this, but this is, if you're looking for something to do today and you are into AI, the release of DeepSeek R1 shatters long-held assumptions by AI. This is a little off topic today, but this is going to be big over the next couple of days, weeks, and months. Okay. According to the DeepSeek research paper, the project took only 6 million to train, but it performs on par with leading AI modules. The release of DeepSeek R1, an open source artificial intelligence large language models, caught the world by surprise and shattered long-held assumptions about AI development. According to venture capitalist Nick Carter, the release of the AI model, which was developed in China, dispels notion that the country would only produce closed source AI and has eroded Silicon Valley's perceived advantage over global competitors. As people are looking at DeepSeek right now, they are finding that it is really, really robust and a really nice system here. So, and you can download it for yourself. He added that DeepSeek is evidence that OpenAI does not have an unbeatable moat and that assumptions about scaling, value accrual in AI models, and development costs were also dispelled by the development. Now, what are we seeing? We're talking about, I mean, I'm pretty sure that OpenAI put hundreds of millions of dollars into their building of ChatGPT and things like that. DeepSeek only $6 million. And DeepSeek is already on scale with ChatGPT, allegedly. But China's rapid deployment of the AI model contradicts previous reports that the country was 6 months behind the US in AI development and creates further competition in the AI race. The United States imposed a chip embargo on China in October of 2022, preventing the export of select high-performance computing chip developed by NVIDIA and AMD. Despite the ban, Chinese firms turned to domestic manufacturing or use cloud computing platforms such as ACS to sidestep the restrictions and access these high-performance chips. Also relaxed its AI development regulation. So there is an AI arms race underway. If you haven't, then you should download today DeepSeek and start trying it out. Just start playing with it and see what happens. Be very careful, of course. Know your risk and make sure that you whatever you're doing, make sure that it's safe, make sure you scan it, do whatever. So let's talk price action now. We're going to get into this a little bit early. We're going to delete, and we're going to look large time frames. We're going to look short time frames. We're going to remove everything here, and we're going to try to figure out what is the next big move. Okay, so on the daily, let's go from the last impulse move to see if we can predict where we're going to go on this daily right now. So for the last, it looks like about 10 days, this has been the chart pattern that's playing out for Bitcoin right now with a high of 109,354 right there. Okay, so this is where we are right now. And if you look at how this has played out, so we had the move up into the top of this range. We came back down for this test right here. Now, what does that usually mean? That means the relief rally takes us back up to the 236 line before we dump one more time. Now, that dump one more time would probably come down into this range right here, and that would be in the currently 92 to 96,000 range. And then we should see a breakout and a test, and then up here at the top in our golden ratio, 141,000 off of this last move would be the perfect ratio right there. Now, what I saw last night, ironically, was as I was going through some of this stuff, I was seeing people start talking about, oh, you know what? The next impulse move is going to be 124,000. No shit. Huh. Wonder where you got that. You know what I mean? Anyway, so another move is probably coming to 124,000, like I told you before. That's going to be about halfway between where we are and this move right here. So you're going to see like a breakout, a move into that 124 range, consolidation in this range, and then you'll see it complete that move right there. And then it'll just go crazy from that point. So, you know, that's what I think is going to end up happening. Now, on shorter time frames, and by that, we're going to do 30 minutes. We look at 30 minutes and we say, well, you know, what's the next move here? Well, if we consider that the last move was a dump, that we took a gigantic dump there, then let's look at this. Let's see where we is. All right. So if in fact we are bearish right now, and you can see here that we've had this move into this range right here, right there. So over the next couple of hours, we could see a dump down into 100,000. If the fib plays itself out, then we could see a steeper correction coming all the way down into this range, maybe this range right here, coming into it, probably back up to 105-ish thousand. And then we'll be talking about the breakout, because this right here, as you can see, like that's our volume node for this range. So then if there is a breakout, then the next breakout is going to be 109.9. So basically we're looking at 110,000 on a breakout. If we get a breakout on this hourly, then we could be looking at 110,000. The question now is how far down, and can we get a new some upward momentum? Now on Fibonacci, 99,000 seems to be, if you're going to set some buy orders, I would be setting buy orders somewhere around 99,500 as a start. Low leverage, of course. I wouldn't use high leverage on this at all. But if you're going to set a buy order, 99,500 seems to be about the spot. Now, listen, the market's going to do what the market's going to do. Like, we could see it wick down and we could start, we could start seeing a gigantic move to the downside. Now, why do I say that? Well, I don't really think that that's on the cards. I don't think that we're going to see something like that. Here's the problem, though. Arthur Hayes, you know who that is, founder of BitMEX. He says, and here we go. Reversing the order of my cryptic essay series, The Ugly, will be published tomorrow morning. I am calling for a 70 to 75,000 correction in Bitcoin, a mini financial crisis, and a resumption of money printing that will send us to 250,000 by the end of the year. So what he thinks is getting ready to happen is that he's looking at a dump down to 70,000. So now let's zoom out and look at it and see, does that even make sense in this time frame? And I'm on the wrong thing. And you got to be asking yourself the question, like, well, what is it that he's looking at that's giving him that vibe right there? And let's get rid of this. And, where is he looking, and why is Arthur now looking at a move into the 70,000s? Well, if you just consider that once we mint a top here and we break into a new top, that previous top becomes our support range, right? Well, if that's the case, then our support range for this last impulse move is right here at 73,000. And look at all this. So that's the range in which he thinks we could come down. And this checks out, by the way, with the 200 MA. So that could be the spot here where, and again, I mean, this is a little bit higher. So we would look at a wick coming down into the 70, 75,000 range. But I mean, when you look at the chart, that's really what it says is going to happen next. If we just consider, by the way, the last time we had this big move over here, came up to like 50,000. That was in January of this year. Then we dumped down super hard. And then what happened? Then we broke out, boom, 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 boom. And then over months, we consolidated, right? And where did we end up? Well, at the tip of that, right there. So that was just one example. If we come back over here, it doesn't play out 100%. But if you start coming back here and you start looking for examples, then you see this impulse move right here with a top right there. And then guess what happened? After the impulse move, came back down right there. Came back up again, did it again before breaking out. And then on this one, it starts consolidating right here, breaks out up here, comes back down right here, right there, right there. Most of the time you see this pattern will play out. So, there is a distinct possibility of a move down into that 70,000 range. And when you look at impulse, and you look at that impulse right there, then what does it tell you? It tells you that your 0.5 on this big impulse move. It tells you that your 0.5 move is 79,000. So 80,000 basically. Then it tells you that the 618 takes you all the way down into 72. And then the 786, which is just too deep, I think, but it comes down to about 62. Well, if you focus on the fact that what you're going to get is you're going to get a move, right? The move is up, and then it comes back down into the 0.5 or the 0.618 range, and then it breaks back out here, and then it comes back down here, and then it breaks out. If it does the same thing over and over again, then it makes sense to say that that's actually where it all is. So for Bitcoin, I would say that Arthur Hayes might be onto something in saying that there might be a mini financial crisis. And by the way, if you are watching and you are a Donald Trump fan, he's going to be the reason for the financial crisis. It's not going to last, but you should at least acknowledge that Elon is, quote unquote, saving a bunch of money and it's not doing anything. You should acknowledge that Trump's working on the things that he can control right now, which is immigration, really. And the cost of eggs still continues to go way up. The cost of oil is continuing to surge. And if you say, well, he's only been on the job for 5 days, according to him, that was enough. According to him, that was going to be enough. That our country was going to be great the moment he took office again. But it's not. And the reason is it's going to take some time. So there is a position here in which a mini financial crisis, a slow moving financial crisis might crop up and going to have to be dealt with. And I think there'll be some aggressive rate cuts and stuff like that to try to attract money back into these markets. And look, it could be that we prop this all up on a flagpole and just hope for the best. But consider with me, if you will, the problem with the government right now, the way that it's happening is the problem number one is we're spending too much money. So that's why you can't cut rates. That's why you can't do stuff. That's why, that's why you're in the position that we're in right now as a nation. Now, the next piece to it is tax revenue doesn't generate enough for us to satisfy debt. All of these things, okay, they all play a little role. But if you consider that the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, is actually cutting out and saving tons of money, or at least so far, we're hearing rumors of tons of money being saved. Okay. If you mean trade TRDM instead of TEDM, if you mean that, then yes. But it looks like to me that we're going to save some money. We're going to find quote unquote pork, if you will, cut that off, make the government a little bit more efficient. It means we're not going to spend as much money. So if you consider we're not going to spend as much money, and then at the same time, maybe we lower interest rates, that could be that could be the thing that boils everything up and ends any mini financial crisis. Okay. Like that. And remember, the media and all these people, they play a narrative on this. They play a narrative on this. And so what we'll see is a lot of conversation about a mini financial crisis. So I don't think it'll last. I don't think it's going to last. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, but we should always respect the fact that Arthur Hayes really is pointing out, hey, you could be in the position of, that's a big dip. That is a big, big dip. Okay. I'll just put it that way. This is going to be, it's going to be real interesting over the next little while. Now, meantime, remember, this is February, or at least we're heading into February. So if that's the case, all bets might be off. Do we change the way the market works or not? That's going to be the question. So I think we'll see. And that's, I guess that's about all I can say. Now, if we look at Solana, let's move on here. We're going to do Solana second instead of Ethereum on this one. But if we look at this and let's close out some of this. And by the way, let's swap over here to a better, there we go. All right. So if we swap over to this, now let's look at what's the last impulse move. What could we predict happening right here? Well, this is on the daily. So the last impulse was that right there, which means that the breakout for Solana, if Solana broke out and went into its golden ratio, $503. Halfway in between is about $400. Remember, I told you that I thought $400 was going to be that next move, right? Well, it would be right there is $400. So that would make perfect sense that that's the next move. Now, if we assume, again, what I tell you is correct, then what we've got so far is an impulse move. Boom. We broke down into this golden zone, right? Now we're coming back up to the 236, which is 267. Most likely a break back down here, but a bullish break back down in that 232 range. And then boom, 300. And then a breakout to 325, probably a back test here, and then breaks out to 400 right there. That's most likely how this thing would look right now. That's the way that it's playing out. So I would say that your next impulse moves over the next few days is I would go long. I would be looking at a buy in this range, which you're in right now, with a move heading up here to 267. I would take the profit around 265, 267, get your initial out, whatever it is, and then let it dump back down, see how far it goes. It might only go down to around here, and then boom, another big move and a breakout right there. Okay, so there's some real possibilities here that, again, bullish narrative for Solana. So I think that, I would buy right now with a move to 267 coming, and then look at that. And of course, it could get explosive at any point, but that's just an idea. So check out Solana if you haven't. And then on the 1 hour, you can see this dump right here that happened. And I guess that we can look at it this way and say, like, if we're doing this, then we've probably got some surge getting ready to happen here because we've got the reversal. So I would expect to see a move into 239 to 243 over the next couple of hours, breaking back in here, and then we'll probably come back down, for another fib retest into some of this range right here, and then a breakdown to this range going back up into 260. So ultimately, we're looking at it from a bullish narrative. Okay. Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is, man, look, all I can say is that there is nothing going on with Ethereum right now. You have to zoom out here to November to see, something positive. There's been nothing positive. So we have to look at Ethereum in a very bearish sort of narrative right now. And long term, let's just do this. Let's play it out. And let's just say that, going up to 4,000 again, which is in this range, which not that long ago, 4,000, but broke down, came into this range, came back up. And by the way, this has already completed some of those moves I tell you about. So what this did was we had the move. We came back down into the 5-0. We went back to the 236. We came back here. We had a false breakout to 382. Then we came back down here for another test. This is definitely a buy zone. We should have another test of 37 right here, and then maybe a dump here, and then a move up into 41 again fairly soon. That seems to be the way this thing is breaking out. So on the daily, I would say that you're actually in your buy zone right now. If you look at it right here, you can see like you're halfway in between this buy zone. So if you are looking for a good opportunity, then I would say use some of your futures funds if you have any, or if you've gone long or anything, go long on Ethereum, use low leverage, give it a shot, and just see what happens on this play. Now, it does not mean that you won't get wrecked, doesn't mean that it won't come down, doesn't mean that we're not going to have another dump, but it sure looks like last time we did this, we got a huge bounce, right? Back up into 34, 35. Well, I would say that the same thing is about to happen, that if you didn't get it at 3,000 down here a few hours ago, then you're sitting at what, 31, 39 right now, but I think it's going to come up here to 34.55 to correspond with this 50 MA. So we're going to see it bounce up that way. So I would say buy some Ethereum right now for some upward momentum. But remember, Ethereum, it doesn't move very hard right now. Ethereum has to have a breakout, and it hasn't broken out. So, I'd be watching for downward momentum. Anything that it pumps is going to be kind of short-lived, except for that one explosive one. And it's going to be largely frustrating. And then on the hourly, if you're looking at it on the hourly, then I would be looking for a move right now for this to finish its play out right here. You see the move. So we're down here and it's breaking up. It's going to come up into this range right here, which is the 50 to the 618, right? Before probably correcting one more time to that 236 and then coming back up in here and then boom, boom. So that would be my estimation. Either way, I would say right now would be a great opportunity to go long on Ethereum. I would be, again, a little concerned if I got in right here. I would be concerned. I would take my profit. I would exit at 3,200. Whatever you made, I would exit at about 3,200 right here, about halfway in. And then I would look for it to come back down one time into this range again, buy one more time, and then wait for an even more explosive move coming back into that range. So that's what I would do on the 1 hour for that. Now, it's 9:30, so let's talk MSI. If you're trading MSI, MSI had a breakdown, and not only did it have a breakdown after a false breakout, like we got suckered and tricked by the market into thinking that, we were going to have a little breakout right here, right? So what we have right now is about a 1.7 million market cap, 1 billion in supply, liquidity of 167,000. Okay. So the question right now is, can we get back into this range, or does it even matter? And to be fair here, like when you look at it from one context here, like you could probably make an argument that, this right here, that's probably what it really looks like. I'm probably being too aggressive with it coming up here. Like these, we should probably respect these wicks. So now what I would expect to see is a move back up into 21 or 22 over the next little while. A rip into this range right here, maybe even a dump back down or a breakout, but we're going to have to get confirmation on that breakout and then a push back up. So if that did that, then it would come up to right about there at about 203 would be about the spot where I would be looking at MSI breaking back down. If in fact it would break back down, probably into this range right here, and then potentially a breakout from there. So if you haven't already, I would, and by the way, I mean, when in doubt, zoom out, right? So when in doubt, zoom out. And zooming out right now tells me that this is going to be one of those deal opportunities of a lifetime for you if you can get in at this spot. Now, that does not mean that it won't go down a little bit more. This market is still wonky. This market still has to have, we still have to be flush with cash, and we're not flush with cash yet. But if we could get that way, then this is the spot that you want to buy from. Every time you buy from this spot right here, guess what? Boom, you get this huge move. You buy from this spot right here, boom, you get this huge move, and equate it over here, you got an even bigger move, right? So this move right here probably going to equate to something into this range right here, and that's an easy 2 or 3x from this position. So I would suspect that if you took a shot right now on MSI, you're going to be real happy. Now, there's risks involved with anything, but when you're at the bottom of your channel and it looks perfect the way that it's playing out, then most likely you're going to get the move. Okay, you're going to get that upward momentum and that upward breakout. So again, it's probably an easy 2x for you at this point. So if you have like one soul and you want to just take a shot, then this is a perfect opportunity to maybe turn one soul into 2 soul, take your original investment out, and then you're just sitting on one Solana waiting for this project to just start moving. And again, it's going to move with the market. It's just a matter of timing at this point. So definitely check out MSI. Also, CC token still having a really good run so far, not falling for this price action, just buying the dip. Plus CCC is only down 2%. So what does that look like ultimately? Sitting at 33.29. And guys, this is a testament. And this is what I tell, this is the most important thing that I can tell you about any project here is if you get a project like CC coin, this is what I'm going to put it on the one day, because I mean, you have to see it to believe it. The team is dedicated and focused, and this is since launch. Now, look, I'm going to be honest with you. This is not the breakout that anybody's looking for. This is not the gigantic move that's, going to make everybody rich. This is not any of that. This is, CC's been under the radar. It's been building in the background. It's got a team dedicated to it. It's got a group of investors dedicated to it. It's done everything. It's been fairly predictable at this point. And it continues to have positive momentum despite the market continuing to bleed out just a little bit. So, what is happening over here? Well, I mean, this looks to me like there's going to be another big move. So let me take this off and, zoom in just a little bit. Boom, here to here. And we see it broke down into this range. So this is your buy range. So what you can expect most likely, and there's no guarantees, but most likely what you can see is a move back up here to 236, maybe a test back down here at 32, and then boom, a breakout and a test right there. And then boom, a breakout there and another big wick going up into this range, probably 2xing from where we are right now, because that's what happened the last time. And then we had the correction and then a little bit higher. So now we're having the correction and then a little, I think that we're in that spot where there's going to be another big move. And look, I'm not promising you anything with CC coin. I'm telling you that I think that it's going to go to a couple million market cap. And if it goes to a couple million market cap, then it will be a big score for anybody. It's at 313,000 market cap right now. It's run by a trusted member of the crypto community. It's got people that are clearly long-term holders. So the amount of sell pressure will always be there, but it won't be nearly as aggressive as some of these other projects. And then if it gets just a little bit of traction, just a tiny bit of traction, then it could easily 10x from here and still be only a 3 million market cap. But a 30x from here to a 10 million market cap would make perfect sense. Like it seems like it would be kind of easy to say that a 10 million market cap. Now, I think a 50 million market cap for any meme coin is certainly a doable project. So for that, you're talking about 160x. So 160x from where we are right now to get to a 50 million market cap. And again, I mean, CC's part of Crown Analysis. As this market starts to, as we start to open up in this market, then guess what? People are going to be coming to CC for work in crypto. They're going to be coming to her for articles. She's going to have herself exposed to a much broader audience as we build up into this market. Me too, if I'm lucky. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, then there could be just a really, really, really significant run for CC Coin. So get yourself a bag of this before you lose that opportunity. And by the way, don't go heavy. You don't go heavy in this. If you notice here, there's no super mega big buys. You don't have to buy super big. Just buy and hold, and the rest will take care of itself. At some point, this thing just absolutely explodes. Just don't over leverage yourself into a meme coin, and you're gonna be fine. So, also, I'm one of the biggest liquidity providers. So, I just earn cryptos. Matter of fact, the reason that I have Moggy, the reason that I have LFGO and Bonk and all these other ones is because of this. Is actually the reason, is because I'm a liquidity provider and they give me rewards for it. So that's why I'm making out like a bandit and kind of loving it. It's like McDonald's. Anyway, so now let's talk about DevvE. You can see here, like this has already been kind of played out here. It's built for everyone, for everyday users, governments and institutions alike. But what kind of institutions, organizations? There are benefits from pretty much all industry, from automating verification processes in insurance company, ensuring transparency and accountability in charitable donations, managing patient records while ensuring privacy, facilitating cross-border transactions, so much more. We can assure efficiency drivers and innovative solutions. And again, just kind of a little ad out here. Austin's out here, the world's token for creating, owning, and I don't know what the title is, creating, owning, and transferring values. So we're getting to the point right now where there will be a big announcement. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. What I would like to see from DevvE would be, an announcement today of significant proportions to propel the price on a bearish day that would cause it to, kind of, do a nice little reversal and make people regret selling. You know what I mean? Give people like buyers or sellers remorse or something like that. I would like to see that. However, here's the other thing. At the beginning of the month, that's when distribution happens. So I kind of wanted to wait for another 4 or 5 or 6 days to, to go through the next process here, because I think it's, I think it'd be great to increase the holding just a little bit. And by the way, you're at $1.20 right now. Well, it's $1.23 right now. It was at $1.20 just a few minutes ago. So, there was a buy opportunity. If we look at it from the chart, let's go over here on the 1 day. So, taking out all of the other stuffings. Let's close this out. Let's look at, what's the impulse move? Where are we on impulse? And, if we look at it from here, all right, we'll say the impulse was right here to here. So, all right, now we've had an impulse move from here down here, and it took off, went up to $1.85, $1.84, whatever. Then it came down for a breakdown, came down deep for a breakdown because that was a significant move, touched the 50 MA, bounced off of that, came up to the 382, did not make it to that 236. Now that right there is concerning. That means that new buyers are not stepping in. Now the new buyers have not been stepping in because the market has been dipping a little bit. So I think what we're going to see is, leaning into this, a strong bounce. So what would the strong bounce look like? Well, we're in this zone right now, meaning that the next move would be up here into $1.61, $1.62, and then we'll see a rejection because these people up here, these fucking chads over here, who didn't sell down here, the weak babies, they're going to sell into that's why this happens, by the way, because these people are going to sell into these not gonna make it ass bitches. They're not gonna it's gonna pump up here to $1.61, and then they're gonna sell, okay, because they're gonna sell near the top and they're gonna get nervous. So that's why you have that 236 playing that way. So 236, then you have a rejection over here as people sell off a little bit, maybe get a wick into this range, and then boom, now you're testing that new high. But if it breaks out, you're talking about 345. 345 could be the next just impulse paradigm for the next move. Now, when you look at it from this context and you look at you look at it from a market cap, it would only be 150 million market cap to do $3.60, $3.45, but for 360, that would still only be about 153 million market cap. And we've got a long way to go for a billion or 2 billion or 3 billion market cap, right? 24-hour volume still over 500,000. DevvE volume, by the way, significant and will only increase over the next. Again, this takes one of those announcements when a partner makes just a crazy announcement. When a partner does that, then you should see something just fantastical happen to the price action. Okay. I think that, look, here's what I think is going to happen. Okay. Just to give you guys an idea, I think we're going to 3x or 4x in a day, right? Well, so what you'll see is $1, what is it? $1.20. $1.20 comes up here to 360, right? Then we consolidate for a day or so, and then boom, another 3x will happen from 360 to $10, just like that. Like it's just going to happen just like that. You know what I mean? And I get nervous, by the way, because I'm waiting for that moment, and I don't know when it's going to be. But the other thing that I do know is that there is one significant partner, which I think, by the way, is NASDAQ. I think that's their partner. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that that's who it is. But I think that the other piece to that, is that there are three governments, three other big businesses or governments that are also going to make announcements at some point very, very soon. So look, guys, all I'm saying is this. All right. I've been giving you this since the beginning, since it was down here at 40 cents. My first entry, by the way, was 40 cents. So it's at $1.20 right now. If you had just shut up and listened to me, Matty B, a long time ago, no matter what your bag is, it would be up 3x. If you didn't listen to me at first and you got in at 30 cents, it'd be up 4x. If you didn't listen to me and you got in at 20 cents, your bag would be up 6x. If you didn't listen to me until it went down to 12 cents, then your bag would be up 10x right now. Boom, shaka laka. Boom, shaka laka. And that doesn't make any sense because ETH fees are like $2 for transactions. So there have been too many times where it's just, where there's just nothing going on there. Just posted on official Ripple. All right, let's go to Ripple. Let's see what Ripple has to say. 2025 kicks off with big wins for crypto in the U.S. and Ripple's growth. New MTL licenses in New York and Texas, new customers onboarding, and ramping up hiring across the U.S. So that's going to be a significant thing, I think. For years, Ripple's been working diligently to secure global licenses. They hold a New York BIT license, a New York Limited Purpose Trust Company Charter, 55 MTLs, a major payment institution license, a virtual asset service provider registration at Central Bank of Ireland, Singapore, and the Cayman Islands. Ripple payments have serviced $70 billion in payment volume with around-the-clock growth for Bancoli, Cambio, Real, Geo, Swift, Agility, FX, Cloud Payments, Atlantic Exchange, Zill Money. So I would be paying attention to Ripple. Ripple's making another big announcement. Will that kick the market off? I don't know that that's going to kick the market off, but let's go look at what happened here in the last hour. since that happened. And we've got a big move off of the dip here for XRP. So it's already done its profit-taking move right here to here. It's already come in, done a profit-taking move. Now, the question is, will it come back down here a little bit, bounce into this range, and then just take off and go back to that $3.15? So a real opportunity. Now, the 305 number is going to be the spot, in my opinion, where it really, it surges up here, probably corrects back down a little bit. You can see right there, 305 across the board. Right in that 305 range is going to be where that move goes in the event that there is a move. Still kind of waiting for the market to surge. Still just kind of waiting for it. Anyway, so, but again, and since we've been talking, DevvE is up again to $1.22. People buy the dip, and people buy the dip very quickly on DevvE. You'll see volume coming in constantly. And by the way, you will see this add and remove constantly because Jared from Subway, his new fetish is not only front running you, but also adding and removing liquidity to front run you even more and stick you even harder. Absolutely crazy what he's doing here. Also, if you haven't, check out SWP. SWP pumping a little bit over the last 24 to 48 hours. Now, remember, we joined this team a couple days ago. We were down here in the doldrums, if you will, and we got a nice big move over here. Now, the next move for this is, I told you guys before, we had this downward momentum. We broke back up here to the 5, came back down to the 236, went strong towards the bottom, and now it's time for some growth and movement towards that upside. So I think that the next big impulse move here takes us into this little range right here. That's probably the next step. Now, new videos coming out this week and should be fantastic. I'll be meeting today. We'll be talking about what the next step looks like and what it is. But we're going to do a lot, I think, with SWP going forward. So I will let you know how that plays out. And it had 20, 30,000 in volume just in the last 24, 48 hours. We started to see a big surge in that. So good opportunity here. Make sure you buy some SWP. Again, I told you before, this thing was sitting at about 3 million market cap not that long ago. They made some missteps on their video, fixed it, and I think there's a surge to $3 coming again, or 3 million market cap again, which would take it up to about 2.6 cents. One more time. Let's just run it back one more time. We'll see what happens there. That's about an 8x from where it is right now, 9x from where it is right now. That would be a significant move. So let's see what happens, and you never know. All right, so going down the list here, HISS is up 5.7% on the day. Sato is down a little bit. Everything is pretty much down. Trump is down bigly. Rhythm is down. No One Will Know is down even more. Gummy's down even more. Speedy's down even more. API 3 is at $1.18 right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to move over some more into API 3 because that's just too good a deal to pass up. But any extra money that I've been using lately has been going into DevvE because I feel like something's getting ready to happen. Cognitive is down 10%. Bonk is down 12%. The Butthole is down 13.4%. Look, I think this is going to go crazy this week because they're partnered with Fart Coin. By the way, I know I'm talking about buttholes and farts and stuff like that, but hear me out. This team is they're partnered with a $1 billion project now. So I got a feeling that, if nothing else right here, an easy 3 or 4x, back up to 100 million market cap. Now, some people that I know who are, insiders think it's going to run up to 1 billion market cap. I don't. I'm just looking for an easy 2 or 3x maybe. But there is a real possibility that the Butthole goes along with the Fart Coin. I don't know what's going on here. I just know that I've got a bag. That's all. I just know I got a bag. LFGO is down 12%. Fiat is down 13% on the day. Pepe is down 15%. The old Trump is down to 89 cents. Like, it's dead. And then MSI also down as well. So again, the next surge, I think, I think we're going to see the market start to reverse today. It looks like the U.S. market wants to start pumping again. So look for Bitcoin to start having an aggressive move in the next couple of hours, maybe around noon today. Maybe we'll see. To me, and normally when I feel like there's enough dip and we could go down, like sometimes I look at it, I'm like, not really. This one actually feels like we've reached a bottom here. Like this one feels like we've done that stuff. You know what I mean? Like again, when you come down here and start looking at these moves and you say, well, there's your little bounce area. Well, there's a little bounce area. Depending on the time frames, I think we've got an opportunity for a big move. I think we might see something huge happen over the next couple hours, but don't hold me to that. As far as the flows on the ETFs go, Bitcoin, another massive day, 517 million for the ETF on Ethereum, inflows of 9 million every day. It's something new every day, just brand new money coming in over and over and over again. It is only a matter of time. By the way, if you are Terra Luna Classic, somebody asked me, how do you see all of your meme coins that you hold? You come to CoinHall and you connect your wallet on CoinHall. And let me change views here. You come here to CoinHall. And by the way, you can see, a lot of these things are just way down. And you click over, you click here to attach your wallet. You attach your wallet, and then you can click on your wallet right here, and then it opens up as a context menu on the right-hand side. And then you can see the value of each and every one of those holdings all the way up and down the line. Now, my newest one is Nhera right here. And then, I've got Hamster Meme. I've got Lenny Lunk. I've got the CW Lunk. I've got LNC. I've got Garuda X here somewhere. Yeah, Garuda X, Juris Protocol, Cat with Hat, Boys, Cookie, Food Token, Fun Token. I've got a whole bunch of these things. So, and then I've got a bunch of Terra, and then I also have a bunch of the base token. The base token is not included here because it's automatically staked when you buy some. So there you go. Bought more Jupiter even after the air. And you know what? I didn't buy any more because I thought, you know what? Let's just let it pump and let's see what happens before anything anymore. But I mean, I got it. We all got it over here a couple days ago. Down here, I think somewhere in this range. And then it surged to $1.27, minting a new high. So I think it's going to do the same thing. I think over the next couple of days, I think we're going to see this break out. And I think that if I look at it on the daily, by the way, let's look at Jupiter just real quick, off of that last impulse move right there. So if that's the impulse move that played out right there, then what we're looking at is, what is the next move? And let's do one final one. It's going to be Jupiter, and boom. I'll be looking for 210 as a breakout because this thing is already ripped through. I think it'll surge back up here to $1.15. But if it gets a full-on breakout to the golden zone, that's $2.10. And if it fully breaks out on the Fibonacci, $3.44. Now, when you zoom out and you start looking at all-time high, the all-time high is $1.84. And that was in April of this year. So meme coin season, when we had our last kind of altcoin mini run, it was right there, almost $2. So I think that $2.10, that's definitely going to break out there. I would not sell my Jupiter yet. I would think that it's probably going to, depending on how much you have. I have 1,000 tokens. So I think that I'm just going to hold it and see if it doesn't hit $3. If it does, I'm going to sell for $3,000. I'm going to put it all into a meme coin. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't already, make sure you become a member of the channel. Subscribe, do all of that. And make sure you hit the like button. Like button is very important. Helps me out, helps push me up in the algorithm every single day. I don't ask for much. That's the one thing you can do to help me and allow me to continue to help you. And we'll see how this market goes. I told you where I think it's going to go. Let's see what happens. We'll talk to you again very, very soon. I continue to stake with Cryptonomy.finance, and I continue to be impressed. Thanks for tuning in. You can see on the screen right now all of the different transactions. These are the fixed length that I've gone through. As an example, I'm going to earn 0.2 Bitcoin for an investment of 0.2 Bitcoin that I made almost a year ago. That's going to come through on February 10, currently worth about $20,000. Got an 83% reward, getting ready to cash out on USDT. That's money for nothing, guys. My scheduled interest on this is $1,670. I cashed out $82,000 in November of this year after investing about $80,000 as well. This was a gigantic move. I can't tell you that I'm anything more than impressed with Cryptonomy.finance. On my margin trading account so far, I just want you guys to see this. I put 50 Solana in. I've earned a profit so far of 5.5 Solana. Off of my Ethereum, which was 6 Ethereum, I've now earned 0.88 Ethereum. And this is just margin trading. And off of my Bitcoin investment of 10,857, I've earned about $1,000 so far. Right now is the perfect time to get involved in the crypto market. While many people are blindly buying worthless meme coins or joining yield farms, Cryptonomy Ventures has over 6 years of experience and 437 successful dealings at launch stages, which deliver significant returns. In just 2 weeks, Cryptonomy will be launching the Cryptonomy Launchpad, which is going to give exclusive access to early token sales of top Cryptonomy venture products, an excellent opportunity to make significant profits. The company is also preparing a launch of its own token with major exchange listings and events coming very, very soon. Those who support Cryptonomy now will be in the best position to benefit from what's ahead. Guys, let me also point out, Cryptonomy has been featured in CoinDo.com just recently, CoinPaper.com just recently, Finbold, Blockonomy, CoinGape, Bitcoinist, and the Crypto Basic. Guys, Cryptonomy.finance is blowing up. A new coin is about to come out. Make sure that you get your bag filled today.